What's going on, guys? It's ACP from Duelist Grounds, back with another video on how to actually duel people, right? So at this point, you've installed the program, you made a deck, you connected to someone's game, but now you want to know, how do I play my cards? How does this all work? So I will say right off the bat that if you're used to Dueling Network, it's just a little different than that in terms of how the functions of everything are all set up. But once you get used to it, it's actually a pretty convenient program, I find. The people that I know that have tried it, they say, "Oh yeah, once I know how everything works, it's great." But it does take a couple of games to sort of get the hang of it, I find. So first thing that we want to do is, we need a deck to play with. Once you join a game, you're just going to sit down and you're not going to have your deck. So there are multiple ways to load a deck, and I actually already have one here, but, to show you if I wanted a different one, you can right-click this, icon that has me, that's ACP, and then we can do load a recent deck, and then all of your decks will be listed here. So I can, load this Billy Break deck. It's incomplete. It only has like 8 cards. So I'm gonna go back to my complete one, which is my Patrick Hoban deck. So we've loaded our deck, and if it's the beginning of the game, you probably want to draw your opening hand. And there's different ways that you can draw cards. Control D is 1, so I can just press Control D 5 times. I like that. Another way is we have this draw 5 shortcut. So if you type /draw and a number, you'll draw that many cards. And there's a shortcut for that command. So if I hit this, I've drawn my 5 cards. And I'll show you how life points work. There's a couple of ways. You can click this, and then, we can change it by some entered value. Like if I want to do a minus 1500, I can do that. But what I like better is going down here and typing in the change that you like. So we type / and then plus or minus, depending on whether you want to add or subtract, then what the number is. So if I want to add those 1500 back, I'll just type plus 1500, and then it shows up down here in the logs. And every game action is logged, so if your opponent's playing cards quickly, you can go back and see what they did, which I like. That's something that Dueling Network didn't have, which a lot of people found annoying. So, now that we know how life points work, we know how to load a deck, let's play some cards. How do we do that? First of all of these different zones, we can, change the width. So if I want to make this part smaller and this part bigger, I can do that. Now my cards are a little bigger, which is kind of cool. And so yeah, let's get started. So if I want to play a card, what do I want to play first? We can do lots of things. I don't even know if I want to play Moray of Greed, but that's one option. You know what? I think first card I want to play, we'll say I'm going first. I want to play Deep Sea Diva. So I'll say right off the bat, drag and drop is your best friend. This program is all about dragging and dropping. You do it the same way that you drag and drop a file in Windows, and it's really convenient. So I have this Diva. I want to play it. I want it to go in this monster zone, and I'm just going to drag it there. And now my opponent will see that I have played Deep Sea Diva. And, I might say to my opponent, use effect. I'll type that down there. And then, perhaps they say, I'll allow it. And now it's time for me to search for my Sea Serpent monster. So to do that, I can just right-click deck, and then do reveal to owner, because I want to show the deck to me. And then we want to do all, because I want to see all the cards. And then if I click on the deck tab, now I can see all the cards in my deck. So I of course want to search Neptibus. So I can drag it out here in this zone, and now I want to special summon it in defense. So if I double click the card, it changes the battle position, and then if I double click again, it goes back. So there it is in defense mode. I'm done looking through my deck. I'm going to do reveal to owner, none, and shuffle. So that'll flip the deck over and shuffle it at the same time, which is kind of convenient. But, now I'm like, use Abyss Dude's effect. Yeah, I might type that. Then my opponent says, I'll allow it. So now I'm going to go back to my deck again. And I can do reveal to owner all. And now, let's say I want, I put one in my grave and one in my hand. Let's say I want Dragoons in my hand. So now I could drag and drop over here to my hand. But then my opponent doesn't get to see what the card is. It just says that, oh, he moved a card in position 34 from his deck to his hand. So they have no way to know that I searched the legal target. So instead, what I would do is if you have the card in your deck that you want, put it on the table first, to reveal it to your opponent, and then add it to your hand, like that. Of course, when we put the card in our grave, we can just put it directly there. So, now if I've used Neptibus's effect, I've put a Dragoons in my grave, I've put a Dragoons in my hand. Normally the deck here would be shuffled, but I know I have to search for Dragoons again, since that has a search effect. So now, I might say, okay, I think I'm going to use Dragoons to add Megalo. So I'm going to put it on the table and add it to my hand, just like that. So now I've resolved Diva, I've resolved Neptibus, and I've resolved the Dragoons that I've triggered. Now let's say, oh, now I want a Synchro for a level 3. I could do that. If you want to do something to multiple cards, you can just highlight them all like this. So I want to put 2 cards in my grave. So I'm just going to drag and drop over here to the graveyard tab. So now I've synchroed. Here's my extra deck, and then here's the level 3 that I want to synchro for. I just drag and drop to the zone that I want. And, that's pretty much the basic idea of how to play cards. There are a lot of other functions. Say, for example, I'll be able to get 5 waters in my grave at some point. So, if I wanted to play this Mullen Glacia, and, my opponent wants to discard 2 cards at random, we want to do something to our hands. We can right-click, do, discard X at random, and then he could go over the number 2, and then that would be how you discard 2 at random, and then you'd see them there in my grave. That's the basic idea. You use a lot of drag and drop. I can't emphasize that enough. Drag and drop is your best friend. If there's something you want to do, like reveal cards or don't reveal cards, you just click. You can discard, you can reveal it to people. You can also move cards, which is helpful. Say, for example, my opponent played a card that banished everything in my grave. There are actually 2 ways that I could do that. I could right-click, do move all 2, and then do top of banished. But personally, I find that less convenient than just highlighting them all and then going over to banished, just like that. Then, if I wanted to put them all back in my grave, could just drag and drop them all to my grave again. Pretty simple. Now let's say we finished game 1, and obviously I won because I have this turn 1 Mullen Glacia out here. No way my opponent could ever beat that. So let's say I win, and now I want to play game 2, right? So to do that, just drag and drop everything where it started. So I'm just going to, put these all back here in my deck, put this back in my deck. It takes like 5 seconds. Now the game's reset. I might want to reset my life points. If they were at something else, I could say, I want to set it to 8,000. Life points are reset. And now I want a side deck. So, maybe My opponent's playing some sort of pendulum deck, so I say, you know what? I think I want to side in my 3 anti-spell fragrance. I could just, highlight these 3 cards. I can press shift to select multiple cards like that. So I, clicked this, held shift, and then selected these 3. I'm just going to drag them all to my deck, just like that. And then, I might want to find something that I want to side out. I don't know. Maybe I'm going. Since I'm going second, I don't think this Abyss Scale card will be very good. So I'm gonna put that in my side deck, and maybe I think Soul Charge isn't good for some reason. I'm just making this stuff up. I'll put that in my side deck, and then I think, I play 2 Abyss Pikes, but I only need 1. I'll move that to my side deck too. And then, I could, tell my opponent, okay, ready for game 2. And then we could get started, right? I could, I could make it so, okay, reveal to owner, none, and shuffle. My deck would be shuffled. And then I could, hit draw 5 to move on to game 2. Just like that. So, I will make some more sort of detailed tips in the future, I guess, about how to play your duels quickly and efficiently. If you have any questions about how to do something specific, let me know in the comments, and I will try to answer whatever your question is. And don't forget, make sure that you are subscribed to this channel. That way, you will be able to see all of the new guides and videos that I upload. So, thanks for watching, guys, and have a good one.